now talking about my 2025 shoe collection, or at least what's left of it. Hey everyone, my name's Kurt. This is Ollie. We do fashion lifestyle videos together, and for today's video is the 2025 footwear collection video. And I've just been wanting to do this since it's been a full year, I believe, since the last time I did upload my first footwear collection video. If you guys do want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description right here. But other than that, I just feel like it's just right for me to do another collection video. But yeah, let's just get started into it. And just for a little outfit breakdown right here, I do have my bare knuckles hat on top right here. It's a LA exclusive one. My eyeglasses just because I can't see. My fleece jacket from Uniqlo and Needles, actually. I got this a couple days ago. My Uniqlo Airism tee inside, just super comfy. And then my Hare 21-inch wide leg sweatpants. And yeah, this is actually also the first time I'm going to be filming at night. So it's just a little different vibes, I guess. I'm wearing more comfy clothes, obviously, just because it's at night. I'm at home. I've just been lounging around the entire day, and I was just like, you know what, this is one of the only times I would say, just film in general, just because I've been busy the past, I'd say, like month or so I haven't really been having the time to film like that. But enough yapping, let's get into the footwear collection video right here. And to kick it off with our first sneaker right here is actually the Mason Margiela replica sneakers right here, the Jeremy Army trainers that they do have. This is made of, I believe, calfskin leather, and there's suede panelings right there. And the pair that I got is actually just the one with the painted midsole. They painted it gray, and the more you wear it, the more the paint comes off. And the funny thing about this shoe actually is I actually just sold this shoe. I sold it just to get another shoe that I will be showing to you guys in this video right here. But I just want to include this just because this is probably the last time I'm going to see this. I'm not going to lie. I've had my fair share of this shoe. I've worn them a lot. And honestly, I have no regrets of selling these. It's just, I think that it's time for me to let go of these just because I don't really wear a lot of white sneakers anymore. If you guys are going to notice later, honestly, I'm pretty much just gonna have only black shoes, and that's just because, like, again, like, my style shifted. I would say this is still a good shoe. Obviously, if you have it and if you can afford it, I would say this is a really good option. One of my friends have this for, like, I think the past 5-6 years, and it still looks amazing. So I would suggest getting this if you guys do want a really good pair of white sneakers, but just for me, it's not anymore. So I am willing to move on and just go on to the next shoe right here. And next shoe up is the Onitsuka Tigers Mexico 66 SD version, and it is the one in the cream and the silver colorway right here. And I actually got this in Japan. I believe this is made of, let me check what kind of leather this is. Okay, their product description is literally just like soft genuine leather, so we'll just run with that. But anyways, like I said, I did get this in Japan. I got this, I believe, in Osaka, in the Dotonbori Canal location, from what I remember. Oh, if you guys do want to see any like Japan videos, just click anything right here. I'll link it up right here. But for the most part, speaking about the shoe, I do love these, I'm not gonna lie, but the thing is with this, it's super flat on my feet. I have wide feet, and I also have flat feet, so me just rocking these honestly can be painful sometimes. I genuinely do love the silhouette and the colorway, but it's just like this shoe is super flat. So I would rather just get something else, and I'm actually gonna be selling this too. This is one of the pairs that I'm gonna be selling. But speaking about the shoe right here, this is actually the SD version. So I would say this is like the mid-tier version. There's the regular Mexico 66 that they have, the Mexico SDs, and then they also have the Nippon made ones that they have. Oh, also, if it does have thinner laces compared to the other pairs that you would see, those are the SD versions. The ones with a little bit thicker laces, those are the regular versions. Just so you guys know the difference right there. But for the most part, love the shoe. I just don't think it fits in my wardrobe anymore, so I am going to be selling this. So this is the Onitsuka Tigers Mexico 66 SD. And moving over to a shoe that I actually wear a lot, This is the Puma Speedcats in collaboration with Rosé from Blackpink. I genuinely had no idea that I was actually gonna like these shoes a lot, to the point where I got these, I think, like a month and a half ago or something like that. Then I've been wearing it consistently, like almost every single day. And talking about materials right here, these are actually one of the Speedcats that offer a leather upper. And the different thing about the Speedcats right here are the interlock lace mechanism ish, that I don't know how to explain it, but they have like lace locks, I guess, like right here, if you want to call it like that. So the shoe itself has two sets of laces, and the interior is actually satin. So if you wear it, it's actually really comfy. For me, having wide and flat feet, these are comfy and it doesn't hurt my feet at all, even with like long walks or just long amounts of wear and whatnot like that. So I think this is a shoe that's super worth it. I will only say that this is only worth it if you do wear an 8.5 men's and below, because this is a women's release, but I was able to fit my foot in it. I'm usually a size 9 in sneakers. This is an 8.5, and honestly, I have no complaints. I think I'm actually an 8.5. But yeah, this is the new daily shoe right here, the Puma Speedcats in collaboration with Rosé. And moving over to the last sneaker right here is the Asics Gel Kayano 14s. And these honestly have been one of my go-to sneakers. I think I got this like around last year in San Diego during like a trip with my friends. So this was a shoe that I actually, how should I say it? Like I pretty much just run them to the ground. Like the Puma Speedcats, these were my dailies. These were hella comfy. I was just trying to find a pair of shoes that are actually super comfy, because I used to have the New Balance 2002 Rs, and those were a good shoe, but I just didn't think that the comfort was there for me. So I started looking for another pair. I found the Gel Kayano 14s, and honestly, I have no regrets with it. The only thing is I do wear this to run. I did start running, but the only thing is I really don't think that this is the shoe for me to run, at least. So I'm still trying to find a shoe, at least like a running shoe, that I can replace it with this one, just because I would just like to have this as more of like a lifestyle shoe, something that I can just like slip on and kind of just interchange with the Puma Speedcat. So I am going to be keeping this for sure. This has a mesh upper and then rubber outsoles. And subjectively, I actually do love the fit for these. Like I said earlier, I am flat-footed and I do have wide feet. And whenever I do wear these, especially for long hours and long walks, no pain at all. So if you guys do want that, I would recommend the Asics Gel Kayano 14s. Okay, now going into the meat and potatoes of my footwear. Pretty much the margielas earlier that I told you about that I sold, this was the reason why I actually sold them, is because I did get the lemaire piped loafers right here, or pipe slippers, whatever you want to call it. But these are the loafers that I actually have been trying to get ever since I saw them on Daniel Simmons before. I think it's been like a couple years since I've been wanting these, and I honestly am really impressed with the shoe itself. It's just because this is the second time I actually have seen this in person, and the leather is honestly amazing. This is made of, I believe, lambskin leather with a wooden midsole right here, so it is pretty sturdy. I did get this secondhand, and I actually got this for a really good price. I remember the time we went to Japan at Dover Street Market, I actually found a pair of the lemaire pipe loafers. I was honestly really ready to buy it then and there, but I checked the price, and yeah, it was like, I think $900 when retail back home was like 700 something. So I was just like, you know what? I don't think it's worth it to get in Japan. Even though I'm in Japan, I'm not gonna get it. It's so expensive. But luckily, I found this in a local Facebook group that I am part of, and the seller gave it to me for a pretty good price, so I have no complaints for that. And this is probably going to be one of the shoes that I'll be wearing during the fall/winter season a lot. I'm actually not the biggest fan of square toe shoes. However, the Camion Mules kind of shifted my perspective on it, and I kind of just told myself, Fade, like, you can't just keep on rocking pointed and rounded toe shoes. You have to at least try a different silhouette or a different shape, especially if you're gonna try and be into fashion like this. So this is one of the main reasons why I did get the lemaire loafers. But yeah, if you guys do want like a really good pair of loafers right here, and if you can afford it as well, I would highly suggest the lemaire pipe loafers. I believe you guys are gonna love this if you do have this. And moving on to, honestly, like, I think the second and the only loafer that I have. These are the Rotten Closet Morph Mule slash loafers. And like I said, yeah, it is a pair of mules as well, just because the back part is collapsible right there. And the good thing about this shoe right here, actually, it is actually a couple things. So this came from an independent brand. Obviously, Rotten Closet is a brand. If you guys do want, check him out. Ryan always kills it whenever he does a lot of drops. And then I also do enjoy the materials that they use for these. I believe this is 100% calfskin leather. I don't know why. It's just like super soft. And out the box, I remember when I got it, this was honestly like super comfy already. I felt like I didn't even need to break it in. And then I would say the construction for the shoe itself is actually pretty sturdy, just because I do wear this a lot and I like run them to the ground, to be honest. But look, they still look brand new. I don't even know how that's possible. Literally, it's just like the bottoms. If you see that, that's like the only, I would say, like the dirty area that you can see for the shoe. But for the most part, this is just a shoe and like a loafer that I do own if I want to wear something more different, just because of the stacked leather on top. That's kind of reminiscent of a mummy. That's why a lot of people do call this a mummy mule. And yeah, honestly, I have no complaints about this. You guys have seen this in my videos if you guys have been watching me for a while now. And yeah, this is probably a loafer that's not going to leave the collection for a while, and I'm pretty happy with this. So these are the Rotten Closet Morph Mules slash loafers right here. Honestly, I'm gonna take the sweater off. I'm like sweating right now. It's getting pretty warm. And moving over to some derbies, I actually just have two derbies right here, and they're literally the same silhouettes. If you guys have been watching me, you guys know that I've owned the Oree NYC Stelvio derbies for a while now. And honestly, I'm not really gonna say much about the shoes right here, just because I feel like I've yapped so much about the shoes in my video, and this is honestly a part of my staple uniform slash wardrobe. This is like probably the shoe that single-handedly changed my style completely, to the point where I literally just wear black or monochromatic outfits now, and it's mainly just because of these. So just because I love them so much, I got both pairs that they release. So the one that I'm actually holding right here are the Cordovan shell leather ones. And then the other one right here is the horse leather pair that they do have. I believe this one can run you to like, I think, $600. It's pretty expensive. However, they are doing a sale right now. I'm not sure if it's still up, but they are doing like a couple warehouse sales for the Stelvio derbies. It might be sold out already, but the Cordovan shells, I believe this was like $650. It's really expensive, but considering the materials that they use, the craftsmanship, and everything for the shoe itself, honestly, I don't think it's like a really bad price, given that it is still super expensive. But comparing it to other brands such as CCP, Guides, they usually would sell a lot of footwear that are horse leather, Cordovan shells, and they would always charge like an arm and a leg for it, you know. So I'm just happy to find a brand that actually cares about craftsmanship, but they're also able to, I would say, like pivot their way to more of like, I don't want to say affordable, but more reasonable, if that makes sense. But for the most part, I would say if you guys do want the pair, I think it's a really good investment, especially if this is something that you will be wearing every single day like me. But for the most part, these are my only derbies right here. The Oree NYC Stelvio derbies, and the Cordovan shell leather, and the horse leather right here. And kicking off the boots right here, I do have the Bottega Veneta puddle boots right here. And these are honestly a pair of boots that I initially didn't expect that I was actually gonna like a lot. I did get this for a really good price as well, but however, I think that I am gonna be letting this go. I just don't think that this is a shoe that I can see in my wardrobe pretty much just staying for a long time, just because I kind of realized this is not really a very timeless piece. And at the same time, I do feel like I've already given this like a good amount of wears already. I literally brought this to Japan with me and I like wore them almost every single day. Well, you know what? Not really. I'm lying if I did say that. I wore like my Asics almost every single day. I wore this probably like like 3 4 days, but that's about it. But yeah, enough of that. That was like a tangent right there. But speaking about the shoe, this is made of 100% rubber, from what I believe. Let me double check just to make sure. So yes, this is made of biodegradable rubber right here. It's a rain boot, and it's honestly super sturdy as well, just because there's barely any scuff marks, barely anything on here. But I did wear this a good amount of times as well. So I think if you do like this, I think this would be worth it only if you pay, I would say, a fraction of the price, because genuinely, I don't think this is worth like $800, $900, or depending on how much the price tag is now for this one right here. But honestly, I just don't believe that this is worth it. But if you do have a chance to get this, I would say like $400 and below, then sure, I would say yes, but that's kind of still pushing it. But regardless of that, I still enjoyed using my Bottega lug boots. No, not my lug boots, I sold those. I meant my Bottega Veneta puddle boots right here. And next up, we do have the YSL Wyatt harness boots right here. And honestly, these I think are my oldest boot, designer boot, at least in my collection. I've had this since 2020. I remember getting this during COVID. And honestly, I would say this is one of the shoes that I really wore to the ground too. I was able to develop like so much beautiful patina to the boot itself right here. And that was mainly just because of the amount of wears that I have put on these shoes already right here. These are made of calfskin leather and they do hold up really well. And honestly, like the ankle slash the shin area that this covers, it's honestly pretty secure. I thought at first that it was gonna be super tight as well, but surprisingly, whenever I do wear this, it's just always like comfy. So I have no complaints about that. This used to be a shoe that I actually did not wear for like a good minute, but I just kept on telling myself that this was my first designer boot, so I just don't think that I would sell this. However, I did tell myself if a pair of Guidis arise, these may be able to go, but still I'm not 100% sure about that. But for the most part, I would say just keep this for now. You guys are probably gonna see me wear this more during the fall winter season as well. And yeah, just a really good boot to have. These are the YSL Wyatt harness boots right here. And moving over to the next pair right here, these are probably going to be the most striking boot that I do have in my wardrobe. So this is the engineered boots that I actually got from Japan. I did a little bit of research about this shoe specifically. I think the leather that they did use for this was calfskin leather as well. I just love how the leather is stacked right here and just kind of scrunched up. That gives it kind of like a pirate boot-esque vibe. The soles though are super worn out, I would say. So a project that I actually want to do soon is just to replace the buckle right here just so it can be more functional, then just completely change the midsole to, I would say, like a thicker sole too. I actually just realized, because I did wear this during Halloween, that I actually don't have insoles in this, so I have to get insoles for the boot as well. That's why I was just like, why is it so loose? Like, and I was like, wait, I actually don't have any insoles. So yeah, I'm just gonna grab some insoles for this. But for the most part, I think I got this for like $65-$70 in Japan. It was just a random find that I got, and honestly, no complaints. It's just a super striking boot, and like I'm planning on like making a brand like in the future, and I just want to focus on a lot of footwear as well. I kind of want to use this as inspo for possibly like one of them, but for the most part, I just want to highlight this as well, and it's just a super beautiful boot. The patina that this also have developed already from the amount of wears from the previous owners, it's just amazing. And these are the engineer boots from Japan. And moving over to the last boot right here, probably my most worn boot for this year are the Doc Martens and the Rick Owens collab right here. When I say these boots are tanks, these boots are tanks. And I'm only saying that just because these are actually the boots that I always wear whenever I do go to music festivals, whenever I go to raves. And if you guys do know, like whenever you go to a place like that and things can get rowdy, you can dance around, you know, people may step on your shoes and whatnot like that. These still look brand new. No complaints about them, and I've had them since last year, and I've been wearing them a lot, especially whenever I would go out and go on a trip, especially if we're gonna go see like an artist or anything like that. I would always wear these. I believe these are made of, let me check the leather again. I should have been checking the leather for this, but I believe it's just like a regular calfskin leather for this. I believe they said this is calfskin leather, so we'll run with that. But anyways, these are honestly a really good boot. And if you guys also want to get a pair of Ricks, honestly, the Doc Martens are going to be a good option, especially if you do not want to pay Rick Owens pricing. I would highly suggest getting these. They're still really good quality, and they did release a new collection as well. If you guys do want those, I will highly check them out. They're pretty much reminiscent of like a lot of the older silhouettes that they do have, but yeah, if you guys do want it, I think it's widely available right now. But for the most part, if you guys are looking for a really good quality pair of boots that will honestly just stand the test of time right here. And if you guys actually haven't noticed, I actually blacked out the yellow stitching that they usually have on these Doc Martens right here. I personally just didn't like how it looked with the yellow stitchings, and that's why I just blacked it out, and I honestly think that this looks way better now. And this is the last boot and the last footwear of the collection right here, the Rick Owens and Doc Marten collaboration. And that's gonna be it for the entire video right here. Comparing it to my previous collection video, it's honestly a drastic change. I sold a lot. And if you guys haven't seen like any of my other videos, I did actually do like more updates on there. But essentially the updates are I moved out, and that's kind of like the main reason why I cut down my wardrobe as well. That would include like my footwear collection. And I'm not gonna lie when I tell you guys, like I think since 2018 I've been collecting shoes, and I would always have over 40-50 pairs of shoes. It's not even funny anymore. So that's why I kind of decided to literally just cut everything down when I move out, just because of like a couple of reasons. One being, you know, I just don't want an overcrowded closet. Two, I just want to be smarter with my wardrobe. And three, I just want to save money. So that's essentially it. But for the most part, thank you guys for watching this video right here. And if you guys are actually still watching this video right here, leave a comment down of your favorite footwear pickups for this year. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for always supporting me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.